Lucky Boys Podcast.
But I was already telling you in December, like, this is going to be a problem for our economy.
Yeah.
This is going to be a problem for, like, just common sense. We're humans.
You know what? I thought the government was prepared for something like this because there's so many.
That's what a lot of people thought. Oh, we're the U.S.
Well, not just the U.S. because there
have shortages.
There are studies about pandemics that have been going on for years. If you want to talk about the 1918 Spanish flu, well, number one, it didn't come from Spain, but it's the 1918 flu pandemic that was spread because of World War I, where soldiers were like moving about, and it came in waves. So the first wave was in Europe, the second wave was in the United States. So the thing is, like, this has happened before, and there was always talks about making sure that we would be able to be prepared for a global pandemic, but we weren't, and that's the sad thing about it, because there's so many studies about these diseases that can wipe out like the human race, and that's the thing. Like I think like, we definitely dropped the ball. There were studies, even Bill Gates, he talked about it 4 years ago at the TED Talk, and he did a recent interview, and he said that no one listened to me. No one listened to him.
I told you so, bitches.
Yeah, he's like, I told you so. And we definitely, oh man, it just seems like there's so much research and so much global collaboration on pandemics that we shouldn't have dropped the ball. We should have been ready.
But here's the thing, though, is the leaders. It comes down to who our leaders are.
Yeah.
Because people listen to leaders. Okay? So if you're not a well-known leader, if you're a follower, you're just a nobody, right? If people don't know who you are, and you're saying something like this, it doesn't matter. And Bill Gates is one of our leaders, and even his scope and his words had limited reach. And that's what's scary.
Yeah.
Because he is and he's a well-known, one of the most brilliant minds of our generation, right? And when he puts this at the forefront, he makes a presentation about this. He tells you what his biggest fears are, and it goes in one ear and out the other. Then who do we go to then for this advice? Who do we listen to? Where do we go? Like, do we just go, we brush it aside and go, we'll deal with it when it comes?
I think it's not a single entity. It's a collaboration between governments. It's a collaboration between business owners.
Look, if I'm a leader of a country, if I'm a leader of a company, and someone smarter than me speaks up about a subject matter that's going to impact my business, my economy, my people, I'm listening to him very, very seriously. His proposal, everything was backed by facts. Everything has a historical content to it, and it had a lot of science behind it. There's no reason why I would not want to take it seriously if I want to protect my people, my economy. It doesn't make sense.
It doesn't, and I'll tell you this. I just found this out recently, that there was a global forum between business owners, government officials. It's called Event 201, and basically it's a simulation between business owners, global leaders, on pandemics, on how to address them if that's something that happened. The weird thing is, this was done a few months before the coronavirus happened.
Right.
And the thing is, it blows my mind that they were addressing this. They had all the global leaders together in one room doing a war games type simulation. And
Event 201.
Event 201.
You said that to me this morning before the podcast.
And it just blows my mind that they had something like this just to make, like, okay.
They had a fire drill.
Yeah, a fire drill. And
we still couldn't get out the building right.
It wasn't, oh my God, I can't believe that it happened.
I don't know. I just hope right now that we're able to get this under control, get our economy back to where it needs to be, protect as many of our citizens and people around the world, and And I just want to pray and give love to everybody that's going through this. I know even if you don't have it, I know you could be dealing with a lot of anxiety. There's a group of folks out there like that.
Yeah.
I'll pray for y'all too. And the people that actually have it or have lost someone or are fighting through this, I know it's hell, man. I mean, I've been there. So it's I just
Our hearts go out to
our hearts go
everyone.
out to you guys, and let's stay together. Let's stay together. I know we're angry, we're upset, but we're all angry. We're all upset, man, for multitude of reasons that are connected to this virus. But we need to stick together right now, and now more than ever.
Yeah, I think also a lot of times we feel helpless that we can't do anything. But you know, if you do feel helpless, go out and do something. For good. I know for a fact, like our organizations that we know, they're doing a lot of fundraising. We're putting money together to purchase PPEs for hospitals and medical staff that are in need.
Right.
So if you think you feel helpless, join, like, go out there and help out any way you can.
There's little things you can do.
little
right?
things.
And this was part of like our previous podcast that we were talking to the Fung brothers. Like, not all of us can be kings. Make these like humongous impacts. But if we all play our roles, everyone has a certain role they can play. And if you know your role, then that makes a big difference. If all of us just knows our role and just look at places where we can make an impact, whether it's donating to certain areas or whatever your superpower is, just know your superpower and then just go in that direction. And I could not agree with them more when they said that. I mean, they were saying that in the context of Asians in media, but if you, that saying, or
Applies to this situation.
Applies to almost every situation that involves like a team effort where people play a host of roles.
Exactly.